which I think sets you apart from a lot of assistant principals, because many of them get caught up in all of those urgent tasks.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely easy to get caught up in, and John knows this from many a days visiting. You know, we had one thing to do and then 12 things came up. He'd be talking to me and I'd be half in one room, half out the other, you know, trying to undergo the process of mitosis or meiosis, whichever one it is when you split. But yeah, I mean, I think I do feel really fortunate. It's kind of interesting. It's like this dichotomy of emotion whereby I feel really fortunate that my head of school, my principal, is the world's best mentor to me. Like the gratitude I have for this man, I could go on. It's wild. But in that same breath, I get frustrated with myself a little bit because, and I guess it comes with experience and age and time. But I wish I had almost the wide lens view to things sometimes that I feel like I don't. And so in a moment, I feel like, let me just grab this because this answer is there and it makes sense. And I don't know if it's about just patience or if it's about really processing, to be able to kind of take a step back and think about all of the variables that are at play and then make a decision. And I find it's very tricky. It's very hard. It's very difficult.
It's interesting as you say that. I think earlier in my career, I thought the most important thing was to have the answers.
Yeah.
And as I've grown, I still have a long way to go, but as I've grown, I've become much more focused on the question.
Ooh.
And so instead of trying to tell people what to do, I try to really focus on asking what are the questions that are going to help them reflect.
Yeah, that's good. That's juicy. That's gold.
Hey, Frederick, what can that look like for somebody like Alex or somebody else in a VP position like Alex?
I always think about assistant principals as having very little time. So you're not going to, your ability to do like gourmet coaching in most schools is really limited. You're like fast food. I mean, if you can get a Bojangles biscuit in the morning or a Big Mac in the afternoon, like that's a home run.
But I want to be Michelin star.
Yeah. You're in the wrong restaurant.
Oh, I knew it.
So I always like to think about really short, simple, easy things that you can do that take a very small amount of time. And you already talked about being able to form those relationships, and that's really cool. I'm not one of those people. I have that intensity and that passion, but sometimes I burn too hot, especially earlier in my career. So I would always hear people say it's about relationships, but I didn't actually know how to build those.
Okay.
Because I was all about the mission. And so I think the thing that you're already doing, but I bring it up for people that are listening, is to be able to ask those questions